This story shows how laziness leads to poverty, the tale of two brothers in the American heartland, and the choices that defined them. He had two sons. The older one, Daniel, was the kind of young man who set his alarm for 5 a.m. and never needed to hit snooze. Before sunrise, he was already checking the fields, fixing fences, studying crop prices online. He read books about agricultural finance on weekends. He wasn't brilliant. He was simply relentless. The younger one, Ryan, was charming, funny, and full of potential. At least that's what everyone said. What they didn't say was that potential without action is worth exactly nothing. Ryan had big dreams but small discipline. He always had a reason why today wasn't the right day to start. When Earl's health began to fail, his heart giving out after a lifetime of early mornings and heavy lifting, he called both sons to the kitchen table and laid it out plain. "I'm splitting everything 50-50. 60 acres each, half the equipment, and $30,000 apiece to get your first season going. The land doesn't care about your last name. It only responds to what you put into it." Daniel shook his father's hand, drove home that night, and had a business plan sketched out by morning. Ryan said, "Thanks, Dad, I love you," and spent the first week of his inheritance watching football and telling his friends he was going to figure out his next move. Daniel planted on schedule, negotiated a contract with a regional grain elevator, and kept meticulous records. When a late frost threatened his crops in April, he was already prepared. He had purchased frost insurance after reading about the weather patterns in Ohio that winter. He lost some yield, but not his footing. Ryan planted late because he was still doing research. When insects damaged a third of his crop, he hadn't bothered with pest management that season. The $30,000 seed money was already half gone, some on equipment he bought impulsively, some on expenses that had nothing to do with farming. By November, Daniel cleared $47,000 in his first harvest. Ryan finished the season $8,000 in debt. Ryan drove over to Daniel's house that December. He sat at the same kitchen table where their father had once divided the inheritance and asked for a loan. "It was just a rough first year, man. The weather screwed me. I'll pay you back by spring, I promise." Daniel lent him $10,000. He told himself it was a one-time thing. It wasn't. The pattern repeated year after year. There was always a drought, a price crash, a broken-down tractor. Legitimate problems, yes, but always made worse by Ryan's habit of preparing for nothing and reacting to everything. Meanwhile, Daniel reinvested every dollar, bought a used combine harvester in year 3, and began leasing a neighboring farm. By year 5, Daniel owned 200 acres. Ryan still had 60 and had mortgaged half of them to cover his debts. In year 6, Ryan's luck finally ran out completely. His mortgage payments were behind, his equipment was falling apart, and he needed a USDA farm loan to survive the season. 4. The loan officer at the county bank pulled up his records. 5 years of declining revenue, outstanding debt, no crop insurance, no savings, no business plan on file. "Mr. Patterson, I'm sorry. Based on your credit history and farm performance, we can't approve this application." Ryan drove home in silence. He parked in front of his father's farmhouse, now peeling paint, gutters sagging, and sat in the truck for a long time. He thought about all the mornings he had chosen sleep over work, all the plans he had made and never started, all the times he told himself he'd try harder next season. The seasons had run out. That spring, he sold the farm. He got less than market value. The land was depleted, and buyers knew it. He moved to Columbus into a one-bedroom apartment, working warehouse shifts at $17 an hour. A decade after their father's death, Daniel and Ryan met again at Earl's grave on Memorial Day weekend. It was a small cemetery off Route 40, with American flags on every headstone. Daniel arrived in a clean Ford F-250. His farm now employed 6 people full-time. He had diversified into organic soybeans, partnered with a co-op, and was sending his daughter to Ohio State on a college fund he'd been building since she was born. Ryan took the bus from Columbus. He looked tired, not the tired of someone who had worked hard, but the tired of someone who had watched his life shrink year by year without fully understanding why. They stood together at their father's grave. The wind moved through the cornfields nearby, someone else's fields now, where Ryan's once were. "Do you think Dad would be proud of me?" Ryan asked quietly. Daniel put his arm around his brother. He didn't answer. He didn't have to. That visit changed something in Ryan. Standing at his father's grave, he stopped rehearsing his list of excuses. The weather, the bank, the bad luck. For the first time, he looked honestly at the pattern of his own choices. He called Daniel the following Monday, not to borrow money, to ask for a job. "I want to learn what you learned. I want to work for it this time, for real." Daniel hired him at fair wages. Ryan woke up at 5 a.m. for the first time in years. His body ached. His pride ached more. But he showed up every single day, and slowly, something shifted inside him. After 2 years of saving every paycheck, Ryan leased a small plot in a community farming co-op. 10 acres. Nothing like what he had lost, but it was his, earned with discipline he had never shown before. The first night after his first real harvest, just 2 truckloads of corn, nothing spectacular. He sat on the tailgate, dirty and exhausted, and felt something he hadn't felt in a decade. He felt like his father's son.